Friends, such strange events keep happening in the world, which surprise us. There have been events in the history of the world which no one could understand till today. We know that science is quite powerful, but still these events remain a mystery. In these circumstances, the planes suddenly disappeared in the air. Searched for these planes for years but never found them. In this video I will tell you about the missing planes. You will be surprised to know about them. Let's begin. Recently, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 went missing. Despite searching for 3 years, no trace of him could be found. The most expensive search in history was conducted to find this ship, in which 15 countries were involved. But after the search, no concrete evidence of this plane could be found. And the passengers who were on that plane, the body of even one of them could not be found. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 went missing on its way to China, according to the investigator. The plane crashed at high speed, but how, when and where, it is still unknown. There were 227 people on this plane. After 3 years of searching, some pieces of the plane were found, but it cannot be said whether these wrecks belong to this plane or not. It was the most surprising event in history. I am sure it will surprise you too. Now let's talk about this plane. Your story is very surprising. After hearing this incident, you will also say that it is a lie. But when I first heard about this event, I didn't believe it. When I researched it, I was also surprised to see it. I am sure you will be surprised to hear about this incident. It was 1992 when a charter plane DC-4 landed at Caracas Airport in Venezuela with 57 passengers on board. Ironically, this was the same plane that went missing 37 years ago in 1955 en route from New York to Miami. Many efforts were made to find him, but still the plane could not be found. After landing at Venezuela's Caracas Airport, the plane took off again a few minutes later, and that plane never came back. This incident was seen by the media of that time all over the world. This heart-wrenching incident caused a stir all over the world, but no one could understand how it happened. According to the investigator, the only evidence is the audio of the conversation between the pilot and the control tower. Let me tell you about this plane in detail. So viewers, I'm talking about 1955. When a charter plane DC-4 was flying from New York to Miami carrying 57 passengers, and that plane disappeared on the way. Many efforts were made to locate the aircraft, but no trace of it could be found, because the technology in 1955 was not that advanced. Then according to the investigators, this plane has crashed in the sea. Friends, 37 years had passed since this incident and the whole world had forgotten this plane. But on March 22, 1992, a heartbreaking event took place, which is very hard to believe. On the evening of March 22, 1992, air traffic controllers were working in the control tower of Caracas Airport in Venezuela. Air traffic controllers are people who control aircraft traffic in the air, so that the aircraft lands at its specified altitude and path, so that they don't collide with other planes. The air traffic controllers were doing their job when suddenly they were contacted by the pilot of the plane on the radio. The air traffic controller sitting in the control tower asked the pilot for his information. So instead of telling anything, the pilot asked the air traffic controller where we were. According to the air traffic controller, there was a lot of fear in his voice. The pilot was quite scared. The pilot told the air traffic controller that it was charter flight 914, and it carries 57 passengers. And this flight is going from New York to Miami. The pilot was still quite scared. The air traffic controller sitting in the control room was very disturbed to hear the pilot's words, because Miami was 1800 miles away from there, and according to the air traffic controller, this plane has lost its way. It is very dangerous. The air traffic controller told the pilot that it was Caracas, Venezuela, and you have lost your way. Then there was no response from the pilot. The people of the control room were waiting for the pilot's response. Then 5 minutes later the pilot answered, "Can I land this plane at Caracas Airport?" The air traffic controller allowed the pilot to land the plane to avoid any accidents, and the runway was immediately evacuated. When the plane landed, the people sitting in the control room saw that it was a very old plane. The people sitting in the control room had never seen such an aircraft till date. The pilot of this plane contacted the control room again. During the communication, the pilots sitting in the plane were talking to each other that the flight came from New York and it is scheduled to land at Miami Airport on August 12, 1955. The air traffic controller sitting in the control room replied in surprise, "Today is May 21, 1992. The pilot was shocked to hear the air traffic controller Then the control room sent some people to help them. When they went to him, the pilot told them not to come to us. Then the pilot said to these people, "We are going back from here." The people who went to help him came out of the plane after hearing the pilot's words. The pilot then flew his plane again. And till date no one has seen that plane. Viewers, I have already told you that this incident is hard to believe. And proof of this are the people who worked in the control room. Now I don't even know if this is true or false. But that's what happened. This incident was also published in newspapers. Viewers, I hope you are surprised by these events. Please tell me in the comment that I will make the next video on the topic.